Hello and welcome everyone to the $62,500 Hermes CSI 4-star meter 50 Classic here at the Winter Equestrian Festival in Wellington, Florida. I'm your host, Danny Waldman. I'm thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. It is a little bit stormy out there. They are hustling to get this started early. As you can see, the wind is picking up with that palm tree blowing in the wind. But it is looking like the storm is coming. It's not raining yet, so they're trying to get started, but it is coming, and everyone is preparing. They were putting sandbags on all the jumps, getting ready for the wind. But we are here. We are going to see 44 horse and rider combinations coming at you today for the Hermes CSI 4-star meter 50. There you can see our start list. Katie Dinan will get us started. Derek Kenny on Diva Caref. And then we're going to have a lot of people coming up with some of their top horses. Laura Kraut on Kung Fu. Keon O Conor on the young Eve Dooley. And we are going to see a lot out there today. Lucy Davis and Ben 431. She's coming back after a long break out of international competition. And then yesterday there you see Mimi Gotchman. She was second in our 4-star Grand Prix. So it's going to be a nice field of horses today for the Hermes meter 50. Again, thanks to our class sponsor of Hermes. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse, rider, and barn. Our workshops maintain a tradition of saddle making passed down from generation to generation of skilled artisans. With a strong commitment to innovation, Hermes integrates new materials and technology to develop high-performance technical apparel and equipment to meet the needs of riders at the highest levels of equestrian sport. And of course, thanks to our sponsor of the livestream, Dodd Technologies. Presenting the livestream, Dodd Technologies is an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate, and special events. Visit us online at doddtechnologies.com. They, of course, are sponsoring our livestream all season long here at the Winter Equestrian Festival in Wellington, Florida. And today's livestream is also presented in part with the support of the United States Equestrian Federation and the USEF Network. All right, we are getting ready. You can see riders are out there making their final preparations. Camera's making a little adjustment, but we are going to get started soon. It's not too cold out, but the weather is deteriorating. Hopefully it'll hold out long enough. We saw, of course, yesterday our 4-star Grand Prix. That was a thrilling competition with only 3 clear in the class. Very challenging course, especially down that last line. But today's course is set at a 1.5 meters in height, and I will take you guys through it once our first rider's in the ring. I can see a horse walking up to the gate. I believe they're going to get us started very promptly. And we're going to try to see as many as we can before the rain. Of course, this is the conclusion to our 4-star competition here this week at week 4. Thanks, of course, to this week's title sponsor, Mars Equestrian. And Mars Equestrian, a sponsorship division within Mars Incorporated. And Mars Equestrian is dedicated to our purpose to improve the lives of horses, pets, and the people who love them. Mars Equestrian is proud to be presenting sponsor of WEF 4. And of course, next week we are going to see our first 5-star competition back over at the main international arena. But later today, hopefully after the rain, we'll also see our 2-star Grand Prix. Actually, I think the 2-star Grand Prix might have gone this morning. So yes, it did. It did go this morning. So they are just trying to get finished here before the rain. All right, we're just waiting for our first one to come in. And courses are set by Mauricio Garcia Ballesteros and Anderson de Mora Lima this week. They've done a very good job challenging courses, but all fair. And I think today is going to be no exception. Time allows have been neat, but not crazy, crazy tight, but certainly fair. Yesterday in the Grand Prix, time allowed was not such a big issue, but leaving the jumps up was. All right, there you can see our first two leadoff riders coming in the ring. And our very first one is going to be Katherine A. Dinan and Atika de Auvent. It's the Grant Road Partners LLC entry of the 14-year-old mare by Rock and Roll Semele with the Sharif Del Mother. French-bred horse, and it is a super horse. I always love watching this horse jump. It's like a little motorbike. It looks so fun to ride. Let's see what Katie Dinan can do as our leadoff rider. I'm going to take you guys through the course as she gets started. First jump is going to come right here off the right lead alongside the big hill. It's a nice oxer. And then it's 5 strides here. Up the line, along the VIP. Right-hand turn, now back to the Dudacorp oxer. She does 9 strides. That's exactly what I walk there. And now comes the triple oxer, 2 stride vertical, 1 stride vertical. And now left hand long across the middle to the big square oxer here. Short in the 4 to that offset Liverpool vertical with the gray rails. And then right hand turn back on the Hermes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. People might do 9 in there as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think most people will do 6 there. Katie opting to do 7. This horse has a very adjustable stride. She just needs to do what's right for him. And there just drops behind her a tiny bit, but she's looking good so far. And leaves the last up. Time is 81.97. And looking like a clear round for Katie Dinan getting us started. So a little bit hairy there at the end to that last line. You can see the horse drop behind her a little bit out of the corner. She did a good job. Put the leg back on. She actually got nice space at that skinny. And last line worked out well. So starting us out with a clear. All right, let's see if Derek Kenny and Diva Karef can do it. Ranked 17th in the world. And this horse owned by the Mimi Snow Sport Horse LLC. 11-year-old mare by L'Arc de Triomphe with the Cap Kennedy too. Our time allowed is 83 seconds. So Katie was, I think, 81 and change. This horse has a very different canter than Katie's horse did. Much bigger horse, bigger step, kind of long, lopier strides. Bounces up in the 4. Great ride there by Dara. You can see he really used his upper body to get the horse jump up to him around that Liverpool vertical. Does the 9. Big jump there. Nice 6 there to the black vertical. Just the last line. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bends the 8. Gets over the last, and time 79.82. So 2 for 2. Getting us started on 2 clears at the moment. Again, we're going to see 44 horse rider combinations jump today. And our first 2 riders are clear. So looking like they have figured out the questions of Mauricio Garcia Ballesteros and Anderson de Mora Lima's course. But let's see if number 3 can also do it. It's going to be Nicole Walker in her own entry, A Tout Tremble. "14-year-old Self-Francais gelding by Nectar with the Apache mother." Nice there in the 5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she just keeps moving there in the 8. Big stretch there to be of our triple, but gets over that nicely. Keeps moving across the middle. Big jump there. Steadies up nicely in the 4. Horse backed up actually on his own a little bit there. That was really nice. Just studied that Liverpool. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little bit of a gap coming in here. And rolls that front pole of the double. You could see she was a little bit big coming in and just had a lot of sort of downward forward movement. A little bit on the forehand as took off at B. Just lacking a little bit of that balance to get up and around the front pole. But she gets over the last. She will finish up with 4 faults, time 80.58. So super solid round from Nikki Walker, but we'll pick up the 4 faults. So 2 clears so far. Our 2 initial leadoff riders showing us how it's done. But we're going to try to keep moving here. Trying to sneak in before the rain. All right. Next up, we're going to see 18-year-old American rider Ansgar Holters Jr. And he is sitting on the Goot Einhaus LLC entry Tulum. 15-year-old Stallion by Choco Blue. Really tight turn there around sort of the little water element out on the field. Just picked up on that first distance right out of the turn. Little bit of a gap there. Just a little bit too far off it. Couldn't quite get across that back pole. Steadies up there in the 4. And pops the back pole or the vertical there behind, coming into that double. Again, that double's riding a little bit up and down, a little bit short, and the horses we've seen now the front pole of B as well as A coming down. Keeps him straight there, tries to keep him straight, but gets there a little bit early actually at the Oxford at the last, so he will pick up 3 down, 12 faults, time 78.22 for Ansgar Holters Jr. and Tulum. All right, moving on to another combinations that's been very successful recently. It's going to be 26-year-old American Lucas Porter and Viga Kata. 12-year-old mare by Vigo Darsui with the staccato mother. Owned by the Sleepy P Ranch, BV. Nice and simple there in the 5. Again, you want to just hug this. Ansgar was really tight around there. Lucas doing maybe a couple more strides around the turn. Sets up nice right to the base of this triple. Gets into A nice. Beautifully done. Very smooth. Just took his time. Let the horse jump each jump. Gets the 4 stride done. This horse has a big gallop, but definitely going to have to think about the time allowed. He's a little bit patient. Keeps moving here. Jumps that really well. Here will be a time for him to make up a little bit of time. Going to be neat back. Granted, it is the skinny, so you need to be a little bit delicate to that. Steadies up here in the 8. We may see some 7s down that last time. So 82.53, just under that time allowed, but clear for Vika Kata and Lucas Porter. So 3 clear at the moment. We shall see how this class unfolds, but it's looking like we may see a lot in our jump-off. All right. We are going to move on to the USA's 33-year-old rider, Carly Anthony. Carly Anthony is sitting on the Portfolio Horses LLC entry of Heavenly W. 12-year-old Dutch-bred gelding by Calvaro with the Quidam de Revel mother. Again, we see a lot of Calvaros in the high-level sport because was a very scopy horse himself, and he gave a lot of 160 horses. But one thing we always see with the Calvaros is they can be a little bit sensitive in their brains, a little delicate. But I think Carly, as one of the top horse developers in this country, I think she can handle something like that wonderfully, and she's done a great job with this horse. And this horse is a beautiful jumper, very careful. A little bit crooked here because of the cross canter, but she just gets the horse right back on track. Takes the time there at the Liverpool. So this horse seems to like just being disunited, doesn't seem to bother Carly, just kind of ignores it, which is actually what you need to do. It's not a beauty contest. It's not hunters or equitation. Don't need to worry about that cross canter. Ooh, a little bit close there at the vertical. You could see the horse was just getting a little bit longer. Nice space here. She could see she really softened her hands, let the horse use his neck, his neck to jump, and beautiful. But over our time allowed, 84.16 will give Carly Anthony 2 time faults, but an absolutely beautiful jumping round there for Heavenly W and Carly Anthony. So that is developing beautifully. I think they're going to jump some big things in the future. Okay, we're going to move on to yesterday's big winner from our 4-star Grand Prix, Ireland's Paul O'Shea. Today, however, he's sitting on Oil Lily Vent Eigenlow, 10-year-old mare by Vigo Darsui with the Montender mother, owned by the Trelawney Farm LLC. Belgian-bred horse. And let's see what Oil Lily can do. Paul, of course, was one of our 3 to master yesterday's 4-star class. Very challenging course. Only 3 jumped clear. And he was second to go in the jump off. Jumped the double clear. They're just moving up a little bit. Encouraging the horse to just jump across the jumps. That can really give confidence to the horse. Very careful looking horse. You can see great jumper. Look how athletic that front end is. Really grabs the ground, jerks the knees up, jumps in a really beautiful shape. And of course that's coming from the Vigo Darsui. So the father of this horse also had a beautiful way of jumping, and really you see that come through in the babies with the Vigos. That round bascule kind of beautiful shape. Just setting up here for the skinny. Yeah, softens his hands on takeoff. Horse curls around that jump. adds leg to the last. Oh, but the last comes down. He's within that time, 80.86. But with the last one down, that will keep Paul O'Shea and Oil Lily out of our jump off. So beautiful round, but picking up that last fence. All right, so 3 clear at the moment. Next up, we're going to see USA's 30-year-old rider, Kathleen Driscoll. Kathleen is sitting on Casaletto, 10-year-old gelding by Cascadello with the Clinton mother, owned by the Plain Bay Farm. This horse, German-bred, Holstein or stallion, big uphill kind of gallop. But looks lovely to ride. Look at that giant scopy jump. I watched this horse the other day and thought, wow, this is a tremendously scopy horse. Wow, look at that. Beautiful behind. Super strong hind leg. Just take a look at how that hind leg from the stifle down to the hock really grabs the ground. That is the sign of a truly powerful horse. Does pick up the front pole behind there, sometimes with such a strong end as the horses are developing. Just 10 years old, stepping up to this level. They can overpower themselves a little bit, and that's what's happening here with those 2 down. But this horse certainly capable of jumping the height. Good job there by Kathleen to just land steady up in the 6 so then she could soften again so she wasn't still kind of hanging on his face on takeoff. She really did a good job there to balance up. And here as well. And gets over the last. But will pick up the 1 time fault as well as the 2 down. 9 total for Kathleen Driscoll and Casaletto. Going into 7th place at the moment. Good round there, but with the 2 down. All right, moving on to our next. It's going to be USA's Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Garandal Zed. 13-year-old stallion by Ogonix with the Topaz mother, owned by the Chancenet Farm LLC. So, interesting fact, it says it's a Zangerside stallion, meaning that it's registered with the Zangerside stud book, but this horse is actually bred in Holland. So sometimes when you see the stud book, that's actually where the horses are registered from and not necessarily where they are from or actually where the stallions are from either. So always know when you see the breed, that doesn't mean that it's genetically like a German bloodline, if you see, or Belgian in this case with Zangerside. It's actually because the Zangerside stud book is open, meaning that anyone can actually register their horses with them. Steady's up there in 4. Augie's such a careful horse. Lily really trusts him. It's such a long-time partnership. They really know each other. Beautiful jump there. Balances up there. Look at that great front end to just get out of the way. Using her upper body there to slow the arc of the jump down because he was getting a little bit quick. This horse has so much blood. Beautiful there. Shifts out a little bit right, but that actually helps fit in the 8. Gets over the last time. 82.27, so just under that time allowed. But Agana will be our 4th clear for Lily Keenan. So they will be back for our jump off. And good round there. So 4 clear at the moment. And again, 44 to C. All right. Let's see what Alexandra Vulpi can do with her own entry of Gracio Dupaschi. 23-year-old rider for the USA, owned by Tony Coupon, Alessandra Vulpi, and Michelangelo Vulpi himself. It's a Tinka's Boy by Caratino. 12-year-old gelding. This horse has a big gallop. Nice pat the ground there at the takeoff of the oxer coming out of the 5. Shows right up to the base of that oxer, but great reaction from the horse to just get out of the way. Big jump there. Yeah, gets through the triple nicely. There you can see she lands, moves away from the jump, thinking about that time allowed, getting right over here. There just look like a little bit too deep at the oxer, has the front pole down. That is a very square oxer. That front pole really comes at you. Steadies up here. Big jump out. Oh, gets right up to the base. Horse really backs up, jumps around that black vertical at 11. Clears the skinny. Gets over the last, but with that one down on the front pole of the oxer coming into the 4, she will pick up 4 faults and 1 on the clock, 83.80, so just 0.8 of a second over that time allowed. Total of 5 faults going into 8th place at the moment for Alexandra Vulpi and Gracio. All right, now we're going to take a look at USA's Quinton Judge. Quinton Judge is sitting on the Double H Farm entry HH Zorro Z. The VDL Zirocco Blue and a Scudo gelding, 11 years of age. Neat track there, puts a little bit of a bend right to left angle on the green brain juice vertical to help give himself space so he could keep the pace up. Just nice and patient there in the 8. This horse has a big gallop. Quinton just keeping it organized, wanting to give the horse time and space to jump the jumps. This horse doesn't want to be hurried. Look at this beautiful loping gallop. Big jump there. Sits up. You can see Quinton really wrap himself around the horse before he takes off there. Very well done. Stays out there, really takes the time. Great ride, really added leg there. Sits up. Quinton is giving an absolutely precise ride here. Really riding what this horse needs. Take the time. He's got 1 left. He's a little bit tight on the time. Let's keep an eye on it. Can he get over? He's got to gallop through. And he does not make it, unfortunately. 84.04, 2 on the clock for Quinton Judge and HH Zorro Z. But an absolutely beautiful round there. Executed gorgeously. But a little bit tardy for Quinton. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at Keon O Conor. Irish rider sitting on Lexington. 10-year-old gelding. It's a Belgian-bred horse by A. Toulon with the Choco Blue mother, owned by Susan Magner. This horse, really athletic jumper. Keon was saying the other day, he's just going to keep it at this level for a little bit. Make sure he's got the rideability. Very active gallop, but super careful horse. By A. Toulon. A. Toulon, of course, producing horses with a lot of blood. So A. Toulon's a young stallion out of Toulon. Sort of a beautiful way of going. This horse a little bit long head to tail, but very talented horse. Reminds me of Choco Kid from Eric Lamaze from a few years back. Similar type of racky gallop, but such a careful horse. Look at this. Keon doing a great job. Jumped great the other day. Ooh, and it looks like the rain is starting to come down. Gets a little bit close there with the hind end at the skinny, but that stays up. Gets over the last and clear for Keon O Conor and Lexington. So beautiful round there, and that will bring us up to 5 clear at the moment. Unfortunately, the weather is deteriorating, and I'm luckily sitting in a nice dry trailer, but it is a little bit wet out there. Of course, if you take a look at it, it looks like it's going to rain just during this class, and then it should stop when the class is over. All right, we're taking a look at USA's Alex Matz, and he is sitting on the 11-year-old Dutch-bred gelding Illuminati MBF by Lansdowne with the Air Jordan mother, owned by Adele B. Dillschneider Racing Stables, LLC. Alex had a really good week here so far. Jumped a number of clear rounds. But not today. Rolls C of the triple. Just looked like the horse got a little bit casual coming out there. There also has the front pole. As you could see as he was coming to it, he wasn't quite looking straight at the jump. Head was a little bit to the side. Twist that hind end a little bit over the Hermes Oxer, but that one is clear. And there again, they're a little bit early coming out of the double at B. Big jump there at the skinny. Keeps him straight to the last, but we'll pick up also one time fault, 83.16, just a tenth of a second over that time allowed, but 3 on the course, 1 on the clock, 13 faults, and going into 13th place for Alex Matz and Illuminati. All right. Let's take a look at the man who won our 3-star a couple of weeks ago. Germany's Richard Vogel and 007 de la Keep. Owned by Caroline Mawhinney. It's a 10-year-old Belgian-bred stallion by Diamond with the Caesar Van de Helm mother. Beautiful there in the 5. Really good Richie there, just keeping the active gallop, shortening but adding energy to the canter as the distance got a little bit tight there around the corner. Cuts down a little bit at A, has the back pole. Gets through that line nicely. Gets there a little bit on the turn, still 2-9. You can see he was still kind of turning to it as he got there. Has the front pole. Good job there for energy to get out of the double. Nice jump. They're actually all jumping the skinny really well, which is uncommon. But gets over the last. We'll pick up those 2 down. 8 faults, time 82.15 for Richard Vogel and 007 de la Keep. So 5 clear at the moment. And we're going to take a look at our 15th in the original order. It's going to be the young woman who was spectacular yesterday and second in our 4-star Grand Prix, one of only 3 people to jump clear. 19-year-old Mimi Gotchman, representing her home nation of the USA. She's sitting on Incline BH. the DG Sport Horse LLC entry of the 9-year-old Gelding by Staccato Gold with the Raphael mother. I was looking this horse up. I think it was possibly born in Australia. Can't say that for sure, but I think so. I was trying to find out more information. But you can see it. It is a hell of a jumper. And I was talking to someone earlier about Mimi, and we were just saying, I love how she just keeps it simple. There, the arc of the jump was just past the top point. You can see just hooked that vertical coming out behind. But it was all just because of where the arc of the jump was. But again, this horse just 9 years old, already jumping meter 50. So green for this level for sure. But boy, does it look scopy and careful. Gets over that. Here, she's keeping it straight. Nice jump there. Like I said, they're all jumping that skinny very well. Great expression this horse has. Gets over the last, but will pick up also 1 on the clock, 83.23. It's 1 on the clock, 4 faults for jumping, 5 total, sitting in 10th place at the moment for Mimi Gotchman and Inclin. All right, let's take a look and see if the one and only McLean Ward and his mount Cedric 84 can add their name to the good list. 5 clear so far. Let's see if McLean and Cedric 84, the Sport 4 USA LLC entry of the 12-year-old gelding by Christian 25 with the La Pico S mother, can do it. A little bit of squeeze there to get over that oxer. Balances up, but keeps that active, energetic gallop for the power. McLean always has such a great connection point between leg and hand. You can see he has a little bit of a higher hand carriage than some riders, but he just supports it and backs that up with so much leg and so much balance in his upper body. Helps create tremendous energy and balance in a horse. They're just having the top pull of that offset Liverpool. Gets over the Hermes Oxer. Right to the base of that double. Sits up here. There just look like the horse did not want to leave the ground. And so seeing something he doesn't like. So that will be elimination for McLean Ward and Cedric 84. But so not McLean's day, but like I said, they're all jumping that skinny really high and well, which is not normally what we're seeing. So they must be seeing something that I didn't notice when I walked the course. But normally skinnies are one of the more difficult jumps to jump, and we're seeing the horses jump it particularly high, like they're looking at something, like they're seeing something. So, okay, let's see what the Passmore Show Stables BV entry Freedom to SB and Katherine Passmore can do. Horse by Oganasitta with a Fabulo mother. 13-year-old gelding. Good ride there for Katherine. really great there. You can see the horse really backed up, jumped around the verticals coming out of the triple really well. Was quick with his legs. Needs to steady up here. Good job there. She really used the upper body to slow that jump down. The horse was getting a little bit quick. Adds the leg there at number 9. Now steadies up. And unfortunately, you could see he was getting a little bit mouthy maybe there through that line. And was a little bit off the bridle, just a little bit sensitive, and then lost a little bit of that connection going to the double. Nice gap there. And has the last one down as well. We'll pick up one time fault as well, 83.54. 1 on the clock, 3 down, total of 13 faults for Katherine, Passmore, and Freedom to SB. Okie dokie, we're going to take a look at Brazil's Rodrigo, Pessoa, and Delita. This horse has been very successful for Rodrigo so far, having a couple of top placings already. At the higher level, 10-year-old mare by Diamond with the Calvaro mother, owned by Artemis Equestrian Farm, LLC, and Rodrigo Pessoa. Just a 10-year-old mare. He's been developing her. Look like maybe he's actually changed the bridle from the last time that I saw the horse jump. Just trying to see if you can create a different connection point. That is a big thing with riding at the high level, where as riders we're always tweaking a little bit, you know, with the bridle, with the tack, just seeing how we can get the horses a little bit more comfortable and give ourselves a little bit more control and ability to help the horses, right? Our job as riders out there is to place the horses and help them so that they can naturally do what they do best. Steady's up here coming in. He did have one in the triple. Gets over the last, but with that one down, earlier on we got 4 faults times 79.15. So quick time for Rodrigo and Delita, but with the one down, they will sit in 8th place at the moment. Sitting on the 5 clear at the moment. And sort of steady bit of clears. Again, our first 2 jump clear, and now it's been kind of nice and steady. And everyone will be happy to know this is Roberto Taranta, 4 of Colombia, and Santana, the Rocking Basilisk Farm LLC entry of the 11-year-old Cascadello with Cartago mother. But they'll be happy to know this horse jumped the other day and jumped the jump and landed a little bit funny, and actually had stepped on the clip. But great to see that he is fine and back out jumping today. He was jumping at such a spectacular round the other day. It was such an unfortunate thing. It's one of those things, they step on the clip of the shoe and it hurts, but looking like he's jumping good. How's A coming into the triple? But this is such a sporty horse. Having the front pole here. Has a big gallop, just 11-year-old gelding. This horse, actually, the mother of this horse was a really good national horse in Germany. Just not quite getting the power to get out there at the double. Gets over the last, but a little bit slow on the clock. 85.24. Pick up 3 time faults plus the 3 down. Total of 15 for Roberto Taranta, and Santana. Okie dokie. There's our next one. Again, 5 clear at the moment. Let's see if Great Britain's Amanda Derbyshire and our winner from the other day's meter 50 speed, Otto BH, 12-year-old stallion by Norton Dole and the Toulon Mother, owned by Amanda Derbyshire and the Gotchman Sport Horse LLC. This horse so careful, was so fast the other day. Of course, also Amanda was the tied winner of our WEF Challenge Cup a couple of weeks ago out here on this horse. So, been a tremendous partnership for her. Such a fast horse and such a careful horse. Look at that. So careful. Right to the base of number 5. Does the one more up that line. But this is not the biggest horse. Just lets him use his stride. Oh, so quick with his legs. So nice to see. What a sporty horse. Look at that. Just drops that neck down on takeoff. Kind of preloads that front end so he can power over the jumps. It's so quick with his little legs. Very efficient. She steadies up here for the double. Leg out. Good boy. Yeah, gets over the vertical. 2 left to go for Amanda and Otto. They look okay on the time. Jumps the skinny well. And there we go. Gets through the timers at the end. 82.35 and clear for Amanda Derbyshire. So she was just under that time allowed. But they will be one for the jump off. Like I said, already won the meter 50 speed earlier in the week. I'm sure she'd like to go for the double. And she will be back as 6 to go in our jump off. And now we're going to take a look at Maliash, Coley, and Berdien. No, this is not Maliash, Coley. This is Andrew Bournes. Andrew Bournes sitting on Manco VD Wellington, Irish rider. Owned by Andrew Bournes himself. Horse jumped clear in the meter 50 a couple of weeks ago. A little bit long there in the 2 from this angle, but gets over it. This horse likes to hide a little bit in the bridle. Andrew does a good job to keep the leg on and keep the horse focused and coming forward. There just gets a little bit low and maybe casual at that offset Liverpool. Jumps over that easy from the disunited canter. A little bit of rub at A, and then B comes down. And having number 11 down as well. And last one comes down as well. They'll finish up with 4 down, 16 faults, 82.45, just under that time allowed. But with the 4 down for Andrew Bournes. All right, now we're going to move on to Maliash Coley. And there she is. USA's Maliash Coley is sitting on Berdien, 13-year-old mare by Boustique with the curly bed hero mother, owned by the Lewisburg Farm. This horse has been a tremendous horse for Molly, and it's been jumping up at the high level. Just starting out the season with this one, trying to get in a nice round. Perhaps setting up for next week's 5-star. I didn't see the list yet there, so I'm not sure if she's showing, but I've seen this horse do some really great things. Wow, look at that. Backed up great in the triple from B to C. Super expression on this horse's face. You can see ears forward. Looks like it likes his job. Again, this was a really nice horse developed in the Netherlands by Renske Kreutzer. Molly's had the ride now for a couple of years. Just pauses and stalls a little bit coming out of the double. Has the back pole, just didn't quite reach across it. You can see Molly added the leg, knew she was a little bit stalled there, but just not able to get over that back pole. And of course, the rain is coming down now as well. Clears the last, but we'll pick up that one down late in the course. 4 faults times 79.26 for Molly-Ash, Coley, and Birdien. There you can hear the buzzer for our next entry. And that is going to be Chile's Gabriella Reuter and Castle O.J. Castle O.J. is owned by the Lumiere Horses Incorporated of the 11-year-old Irish-bred gelding by Sligo Candy Boy with the high roller mother. You can see the rain is coming down. Well, it's an Irish horse. It should be used to this kind of Irish weather. And it's certainly a little bit warmer than it is in Ireland right now. This horse was former rider of Andrew Bourne's, who we just saw a couple rounds ago. And fully Irish breeding with the Sligo Candy Boy, which is a really popular stallion in Ireland at the moment. And High Roller, this horse had an Irish mother as well. There, just twists a little bit as it jumps the oxer, doesn't quite get across. Maybe it was a little bit deep coming in. Looked like actually maybe the front pole came down. Steadies up here. A little bit of a touch at A coming in behind, but that stayed up. And there, just looked like overtook her a little bit. Past that distance at number 11. Too flat with the jump. And gets over the last, but we'll pick up those two down. 8 faults, time 81.60 for Gabriella Reuter and Castle O.J. All right, we're going to keep on moving down this list. And I think it's going to be... There she is, Laura Kraut and Kung Fu. Representing the USA, and she was sitting on her longtime partner, Kung Fu, owned base by St. Bride's Farm, of the 17-year-old Contact Me by Cambridge mother. This wonderful longtime partner of Laura. Goes in the nice hackamore. So, no bit in his mouth. Really good there. This horse done so many things for Laura over the years. Nations Cup teams, Grand Prix wins, speed horse, big Grand Prix horse. He could do it all. There, she just puts her leg on, makes sure that the horse keeps his eye on the jump. Maybe she had the feeling he wasn't quite following her. There, she drops her hand forward a little bit, lets him use his head and neck. Ooh, just rolls that. Maybe touched it a little bit in front and already had a bit of a roll, and then just touched it behind to come out of the cups. Jumps the skinny nice. And over the last, but with that late fault, 4 faults, time 82.44, so stays within the time allowed, but with the one down, we'll put her into 13th place at the moment for Laura Kraut and Kung Fu. All right, there's the buzzer for Canada's Aaron Ballard and the Elon Furter and Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry, Ginger Ask. 10-year-old mare by Casal with the La Vista Z mother. Aaron's been developing this horse. Very scopy. It's funny, this horse by Casal, but actually I don't think it looks anything like Casal. It doesn't even go like Casal. Casal's was a horse ridden by Rolf Goran Bankston, a Swedish rider. I think he won more than like 20 global champions or something, or he jumped 20 some odd round. I don't know. That horse was incredible for Rolf. Got him a medal in the World Championships in Caen. And but it was a big bay horse with a bit of a slower gallop, but very careful and scopy. But I don't think this horse jumps like that at all. So sometimes it's a real crapshoot. With breeding, you don't really know. But this horse does, however, look like Levisto, which was a beautiful gray horse that Julian Melchior of Belgium from Zangerside rode. Big jump there. Steadies up here. Good job, Aaron. You can see her sit up mid-air, just trying to keep that arc slow. One left to go. She looks good on the time. Let's see. Does she leave it up? Yes, she does. There we go. 81.94 and clear for Ginger Ask and Aaron Ballard. So that will be our 7th clear. So she will be returning for our tiebreaker after we conclude this first round. So super ride there. And again, thanks to our sponsor Hermes for today's 4-star meter 50 classic. Okay, we're taking a look at Irondale Du Float, the Seabrook LLC entry ridden by Shane Sweetum. Source is a 10-year-old mare by Vivaldi with the Ogonacita mother. Shane won our opening meter 45 class here on the field on Wednesday with this horse. And he was second in our speed meter 50 on Friday. So I'm sure he's trying to go for it again. Very careful horse, very competitive. He was speedy on Friday, but Amanda Derbyshire was too quick for him. Gets over that. Steadies up here. Yeah, gets over the Liverpool. Keeps on moving. You can see he's got the flare nasal strip on the nose. Just helping the horse breathe a little bit better. Opening up those nostrils. Getting the maximum amount of oxygen possible. And, well, they have stamina tests out here on the big field at the Global Pavilion at Wellington International. Steadies up here. A little bit left to right angle. Puts a bit of shape, steadies up. A little bit of push for the last. Well, within that time allowed, 679.37 and clear. So 2 in a row on the good list. Bringing our count up to 8 now on the jump-off list. Shane Sweetum and Irondale Du Float. Arundel Du Float. So I'm sure he would like to stay on the podium again for a 3-3 finish. We'll see. Okie dokie. Moving on, and there's the buzzer for our next rider. It's going to be, again, yesterday's big winner, Ireland's Paul O'Shea and Hellcat. Remember, this class, you can ride 2 horses in it. So we saw Paul O'Shea up earlier. It was on the Oil Lily, who had the last jump. But let's see if he can do it on Hellcat, the Team Eye Candy entry, with the 13-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Cassander with the Conan Z mother. Looking nice and simple so far. All right, looking like a nice shot in here. A little bit quick. Needs to keep it slow for the verticals. Ooh, you can see rubbed C. I knew that was coming. You could see it was a little bit quick there, but luckily that stayed up. Steadies up here for the 4. Goes out a little bit, sets up this double, jumps A. Oh, just a little bit forward there at B. You can see he softened, try to get there because he came in nice and steady, but just pushed past that front pole a little bit. And horse just a little bit balance on the front end, not able to get out of the way. Steadies up to the last, but will pick up the 1 down. 4 faults, time 80.36 for Polo Shea and Hellcat. And we're going to keep on moving here as the rain is coming down. And it's going to be Ireland's Keon O Conor and his second entry, Yves Dooley, owned by Nicole Walker. Yves Dooley is a 10-year-old Celle Francais mare by Classic Bois Margot with the poor boy mother. Keon was clear on his other horse, Lexington. Let's see if we can do it again on Eve. It's been a really good horse for Keon. Just 10 years of age, but he's been developing it now for a while. And it's coming along nicely. This horse is actually by Classic Bois Margot, which is a French stallion that was ridden by Simone Delest. And actually don't know, it's really big scopy horses, but I don't know so many babies from him. But for sure, the few that we do see are big and scopy. I'm surprised more people don't actually use it more. And the mother of this horse, the poor boy, was a horse that jumped 160 herself. So this horse is really, really well bred. Actually, the grandmother of this horse also jumped 160. So she comes from a long line of successful show jumpers. And she herself, clearly very successful, jumping clear for Keon O Conor. Yves Dooley adding their name to the good list. That takes our count up to 9. So that means Keon has 2 in our jump off coming up shortly. So 9 clear so far. Yves Dooley and Keon O Conor adding their name. Okie dokie. We are moving on to Kos Van Heiste, 14-year-old gelding, ridden by Elena A. Haas. Belgian-bred horse by Adorado with the contact Vanda Heffing mother. She has the front pole there of the out of the 5 stride and number 3. Sits up nice here, but does just roll C out of the cups. Jumps over that Liverpool really well. Sitting on the 2 down at the moment so far. Has the front pole of number 9 as well. Big scopy jump coming out. And it was a little bit quick at 11, but actually the horse did a good job. Get out of the way. And just gets there a little bit early to the last. So 16 faults, time 81.83 for Elena Haas and Kos van Heijsten. So again, 9 clear at the moment with a few more to go. About 13 or so left. All right, let's see if the UK's Tim Gredley and his entry, Imperial HBF, can add their name to the good list. Rachel Gredley, William Gredley, and Unex Competition Yard Limited, the owners of this horse, 11-year-old gelding by Glasgow with the original VDL mother. Big jump there at number 4. Tim's been having a good run of it the last year or so and has a couple of really nice horses. This horse out of Glasgow, which is a big black stallion that Jur Vreeling of the Netherlands rode. It's a really big scopy horse. Looking good so far. Again, 9 clear at the moment. Can they add their name? Clears the skinny. Jump in the skinny. Great. All the horses. Steadies up here, then adds the leg again. Great jump at the last. In that time allowed, 81.68. And Tim Gredley will be back for our jump off with Imperial. So super round there. He made that look very, very simple. Wasn't much to say. It was just a joy to watch. Kept it simple. It was lovely. Okay, moving on. Second ride for USA's Quinton Judge and HH Medarco PS. So he was clear with a time fault on his first entry. Let's see if he can be a little speedier on the Double H Farm and the Creel family entry of the 10-year-old stallion by Messenger with the Darko mother. As you can see, the rain is steadily coming down out there. Luckily, the footing out on this field is just great. It almost still looks sandy, which is quite impressive. Puts a nice bend here in the 5. Then he can keep the power and the energy up without having to pull on the reins and slow down. Just using that track nicely. Little reach across the back there. And pops the back pole there of A coming into the triple. We're actually seeing that come down a lot. They're all just kind of jumping up high and sitting on the back pole. Nice jump there at 9. Really good there. You can see landed kind of like just added that leg, kept the energy up, jumped out of that double great. And amazingly, the sire of this horse was a horse called Messenger that's also ridden by Quinton Judge. So it's cool to be able to ride them. The dad and the son. Very cool. All right, Quinton Judge will finish up with 4 faults, 80.62 for HH Medarco PS and Quinton Judge. Going into 17th place at the moment. And we're going to have 10 left. And who's it going to be? Looking like Vanessa Hood. 41-year-old rider from the USA, and she's sitting on Caskel Reto. 12-year-old gelding by Casal with the Calondo 1 mother, owned by Take 2 LLC. Steadies up there on the 5, gets right to the base. Then you could see she just kind of leaned over, added a little bit of extra encouragement to jump over that. Right to the base, jumps that beautifully. A little bit disunited, gets the gallop. There, just gets there a little bit quick, a little bit early, coming into the triple. Front pole rolls out of the way. Steadies up there, just gets there a little bit early. Not able to get the horse all the way back enough. Just a little bit quick. And maybe looking like she's not loving the control point. And she will call it a day. Vanessa retires within the round with Cascalredo. Okay. Let's take a look at our remaining few. First of those is going to be Kathleen Driscoll in the Plain Bay Farm entry, a Rome. 14-year-old Self-Francais gelding by Norway de la Lande with the Attila 3 mother. Kathleen, of course, working with and training with the Prudence from Plain Bay Farm, and she's been a tremendous talent, had great success over the last period. I watched this horse a lot last year. She had great success. It's a little bit long, this horse, but I've really watched it, and it is a careful, scopy horse. I think Kathleen actually jumped her very first 5-star ever on this horse last year. So she does a great job managing this horse. Has a big stride, not the most adjustable gallop, and Kathleen does a great job kind of managing it. Giving the horse space, thinking about the time allowed, letting him use his big gallop out on this big field. It's a nice place for a horse like this. You can see he's very scopy, jumps so easy. He's very careful. Not so flashy with the jump, but just does what he needs to do. And that's all that matters, right? We just want them to leave the jumps up. Here you can see just trying to steady up. Gets it done. Jumps over that, just steps over that vertical. So easy for this horse. Nice ride there. She had good space. Little bit of leg to the last and clear. Yes, she is. 81.78 and clear for Kathleen Driscoll. And that will be our 11th clear in this class. As you can see, the rain is just steadily coming down, but little rain didn't hurt anybody. But I'm happy I'm sitting inside. Okay, let's take a look at Mexico's Carlos Hank Guerrero and his entry, H5 Origi Horta, owned by Carlos Hank Gonzalez and the H5 Sport Horses LLC. There you can see he's got his raincoat on. That means the judges have waved jackets, and meaning you can have a raincoat on, which is so kind of them. So 10-year-old gelding by Casanova de la Palme with the Vigor d'Arsui mother. So looking like a French-bred horse. Jumped A really well. It's looking really good so far. They are just a little bit still on the turn. You can see it was a little bit angled as he took off there. Just not quite straight enough to the Hermes Oxer. Hasn't caused too many troubles, but we've certainly seen it come down a few times from that same reason. Richie Vogel, I think, also had it down for that same exact kind of reason. Just too much on the angle. All right, over the last, and 4 faults, time 81.22 for Carlos Ancarero and H5 Origi Horta. So nice solid round, but with the 1 down, picks up the 4 faults. Okay, let's take a look at Team Silver medalist Lucy Davis and the Old Oak Group entry Ben 431. New ride for Lucy, and of course Lucy was out of the high-level sport for the last couple of years, but she is back at it now with Ben 431. This horse, very famous horse from Europe, won the Grand Prix of Aachen a couple of years back. And a new ride here for Lucy. Let's see what the 13-year-old gelding by Sylvain with the Quincy Jones mother can do. Again, Lucy doing a good job to take a horse that she doesn't know so well and already jump such a high level with it. I mean, she has a lot of confidence in herself with the horse. And we all know the horse can do it, and we all know Lucy can do it, so now they just got to do it together. Really good there, really pats the ground coming out at sea. That was lovely. I've seen this horse do some really exceptional things. Jumps that really well. Really sets himself good there. Couple left to go. This is looking like a beautiful round. Looking like the two of them are just gelling together. Building up that partnership. Gets over the last. Beautiful clear round. 80.29 for Lucy Davis and Ben 431. So that will bring our count up to an even dozen at the moment. With about 7 left to jump. All right, and it's going to be Mexico's Mayonnaise Denise Chambon. Oh, no, it's not. It looks like it's going to be Kyle Tim. Canada's Kyle Tim. And Casino Calvin. 11-year-old gelding owned by Tara Del Rain and the Rain Family, LLC. It's a horse by Casino Berlin with the Calvin mother. Does the nice 5 there. Kyle's done such a good job over the years developing horses and showing at the high level. Jumped through that beautifully. Good job there. He thought he was maybe a little bit conservative with his track, so he thought, let me land and get right over to this oxer. Well done. Great expression with this horse. You can see the horse ears really forward, looking to the jump, paying attention. Look how nice this is. Big jump at number 9. Really great effort there from the horse to just reach and get across that. Gets there a little bit early to 11, but clears it. 2 left to jump. Maybe a little conservative on his time. We'll have to keep an eye on this. I think he may be over our time allowed. But, oh, and he has the last down. Anyway, He is over that time, 84.18. 2 on the clock, 4 jumping, 6 total, 4 Carlton and Casino Calvin, going into 25th place at the moment. So super nice round, but having the last down and a little bit pokey around the course. All right, we're going to move on to USA's Sarah Siegel in the Horatio Street Ventures LLC entry Flintstone. Flintstone is a 14-year-old gelding by Mr. Blue with the Caratino mother. And this horse by Mr. Blue. And notorious with Mr. Blues. It's a bit of an older stallion. We don't see it so much anymore. I mean, it's certainly in there, but we saw it a lot for a while a few years back. Ooh, she has number 2 down. We actually had, I don't think I saw anyone else have that down. But interesting fact about the Mr. Blues, that the stallions and the male horses that are offspring of Mr. Blue can be a little bit heavier on the heavier side, where the mares are really quick and careful. So funny how the gender of the horses from the breeding seem pretty uniform. A bit odd. But all the horses from Mr. Blue, a little bit late sometimes, just need some time to develop. But this horse jumping good. Silly to have number 2 down. But Sarah's been riding great all season. There just kind of came down early across that oxer out of the double. Stays out in the 8. Gets over the last nicely. But we'll have those 2 down. 8 faults time. 82.71. So nothing on the clock, but the 2 down for Sarah Siegel and Flintstone. Okay. Making our way down this list. Just 4 left. We're sitting on 12 clear at the moment. Let's see if we can pick up another 1 or 2. And it's going to be Belgium's Zoe Conter and Davidoff de Lassis. 15-year-old gelding owned by the Stefex Stables by Ugana Sita with a Sar Sita mother. This is, of course, her longtime partner. It's been a great horse for Zoe over the years. She jumped some tremendously big classes on this one. Keeping it nice and simple. Gets over A, which we've seen come down quite a lot in this course. Really gets across the middle here nicely. Just taking this first distance to the big oxer. Steadies up for the 4. Oh, good. Jumped up really good and up and back and away from that. That was nice. Exactly what you want to see. And clears the double. Gets over black number 11. 2 left to go. I think she's okay on the time. And over the last clear round. Look at that big smile. 81.28 for Davidoff. Giving us a baker's dozen. 13 on the good list. Coming back for our tiebreaker with 3 left to jump in this first round. So that was a nice big smile out of Zoe. Happy to go clear with her longtime partner. All right. First of these remaining 3 is going to be 22-year-old rider from the USA, Ashley Vogel and Namaste Van Het Eichelveld. 11-year-old gelding, Belgian bred by Elvis DePutto with the Coriel mother. Owned and ridden by Ashley herself. She looks a little slow to me just to start. She's doing quite a lot of strides kind of out of the turn. All right, so she has the front pole there just a little bit deep and dead on takeoff at that oxer, but she's going to have to keep an eye on this time. Of course, it's early to say. She may make it up, but here she's good. She's making up some time here. Sits up nice to that oxer. Sourced by Elvis DePutto, which is a Belgian stallion ridden by de Brabander in Belgium, and really bred a lot of horses. Really good character horses. Super commercial. Nice, and you see this horse, sort of nice uphill balance, very simple, nice in the contact. She moves up to the last, smart choice, but she is over that time allowed, 84.28. So she will pick up 2 on the clock with that one earlier fence. 6 faults total for Ashley Vogel, and namaste. All right, first of our remaining 2, and it is gonna be looking like, there she is, coming on in. Actually looking like our last 2 both coming in together. Trying to speed that up so they don't get too wet. All right, it's gonna be 24-year-old American Lucy DeLaurier and Joe Varro and the Luja LLC entry of the 10-year-old Dutch-bred stallion by H5 Alvaro with the Ecuador mother. And let's see what Lucy can do. This horse formerly ridden by Matt Williams from Australia. And big scopy stallion. Just raising her hand, letting the horse relieve himself, and then can take a nice pause, and off they go. All right, let's see what Lucy can do on this horse. Looking good so far. You can see he has a little shadow roll. That's the black fuzzy on his nose. Just helps horses if they stare down at the jump sometimes. And also horses that have quite a high head carriage, it can kind of actually encourage them to put their nose down, help keep the shape of the jump, and then not stare down at the bottom of the jumps. So a couple of uses for the shadow roll. Gets through the triple nicely. And getting a little bit close to that vertical there, but he's jumping well so far today. Steadies up there. A little bit of a touch at A, a little bit of a touch at B, but those both stay up. Ooh, getting a little bit quick there at the black. Looked like it maybe just dropped behind her. She had to really put her leg back on to move back up for that line. And there, didn't quite come up the way she wanted. Now she needs to steady up for the last, and gets over the last, and just over our time allowed, 83.07. So it will keep her out of our jump off, but I'm sure she'll be happy with the cleared jumping. 1 fault for Joe Varro and Lucy DeLaurier. All right, our last to go in the first round of this $62,500 Hermes CSI 4-star meter 50 classic is going to be the one and only Margie Goldstein Angle. And she is sitting on Jack of Hearts, the Gladewinds Farm Incorporated entry of the 12-year-old Danish bred gelding by Heartbeat with the Balubay mother. So Baker's dozen clear, 13 at the moment. Let's see if Margie can add their name to the good list. Really moves up here in the 5. Can see him staring at that little rock around the water element out here on the field. Big jump there. Source jump clear the other day. Was really good. Let's see if he can do it again. Really good there. She's looking really strong so far. Sits up nice there, but keeps the leg on. And over the 6 strides. Let's see, she's got 2 left to jump. Looking good so far. A little bit deep here. No problem. Gets over it. Rain is really coming down and up over the last, and she will add her name to the good list. So that will bring our total count to 14. Margie Goldstein Angle and Jack of Hearts will be back in a little bit for our jump off. They are going to just set, and I'm sure they're going to do it as quickly as possible as the rain is coming down. But 14 going to be coming back for this Hermes 4-star meter 50 classic. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute. Stay tuned for the conclusion of this $62,500 Hermes CSI 4-star meter 50 classic. There's our jump off qualifiers. Katie Dine of the U.S., Derek Kenny of Ireland, Lucas Porter, Lily Keenan, Keon O Conor. He'll be back twice. Amanda Derbyshire, our winner from Friday's Speed. Canada's Aaron Ballard. Shane Sweetum, who was first and second earlier in the week. There's Keon O Conor again. Tim Gredley, Kathleen Driscoll. USA's Lucy Davis. And then Zoe Conter of Belgium and Margie Goldstein Angle. Rounding out those 14. They're just cleaning the lens. And we'll be back with you guys in a minute. Stay tuned.
attention to the smallest detail, getting to the destination the most efficient way possible, ensuring all individual elements are working together to drive high performance, and making sure you do it consistently. Being the best comes down to perfect execution. That's not just good show jumping. That's good railroading. We love a sport that rewards precision.
You'll know Mars for our confectionery, but we're also the people behind Buckeye Nutrition and many horse and pet food brands. Our research has been responsible for breakthroughs in animal welfare. In fact, Mars has been part of the equestrian community for almost 90 years. We sponsor events like Kentucky and badminton, work with riders like Andrew Hoy, Lauren Nicholson, Ben Mayer. We even named one of our most famous brands after a horse. Mars Equestrian, building a better world for horses, pets, and people.
All right, we're back with you guys for the $62,500 Hermes CSI 4-star meter 50 classic, and here is the conclusion of our class. We are going to see 14 horse rider combinations coming back for our jump off. Here was our trailblazer from round one. She was first to go, showed everyone how to do it. Let's take a look at Katie Dinan and Atika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This horse not the biggest stride, so don't have to so much worry about the numbers, but she is quick. Good turn back here to 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The double. Now right-hand turn across the middle to that black and gold oxer. And then going to be left-hand turn to the Duda oxer, and then long run to the last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gets over number 5, time 39:29, and that'll be our automatic leader to get us started. Katie Dinan and Atika de Auvent. 39:29, gonna be the time to beat, so she puts the pressure on. Let's see if they come running after her. All right, next up gonna be Ireland's Derek Kenny. And Diva Karef BH. He was second to go in the first round. Of course, jumped a super round. Let's see if he can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one less than Katie. But again, this horse has a much bigger stride. Neat back here, right on corner. 9. Gets over the double. Cuts across the middle to this oxer. Comes up quick. And now he's going to have to run across the middle. Let's see what he does down the last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Easy. Oh, but as the last down, time was 40.12. It's a little bit slower than Katie anyway, but with the 1 down, 4 faults for Derek Kenny and Diva Karef. But nice solid round there. Okay. Third to go is going to be USA's Lucas Porter and the Sleepy P Ranch BV entry Vika Kata. This horse also has a really big stride. Let's see if the 12-year-old mare can gallop around this course in faster than 39.29 time set by our leadoff rider, Katie Dinan and Atika. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Steadies up there. A little bit wider. Big moving in here. Has to back up. Does that beautifully. Great big gallop across the middle. Catches that first one out of the turn. That was very smooth. You can see this horse has a tremendous gallop, just covering the ground a little bit deep there, but gets it. Gets the 7. Clears the last time. 39.53. So just off that pace. 39.53 on the clear. Just off that pace into second for Lucas Porter and Vika Kata. So Katie Dinan still leading 39.29 that time to beat. But they're going to have to keep running at her. Okay. Next up, another speedy rider, Lily Keenan and Agana Van Het Garandal Zed, the Chansonet Farm LLC entry of this 13-year-old Zangerside stallion. This is such a fast horse and so careful. Let's see what Lily chooses to do. Good shot there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looking like they're all opting to do the 10, especially with this shorthand turn right after it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Steadies up for the 9. Jumps out. Now she's got to move. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now she's got to run. Come on, Lily. There she keeps going. Good shot at the oxer. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Steadies up. Clears it. And 39.75. Going into third at the moment. 39.75 on the double clear into third for Lily and Agana. So good effort, but slightly off that pace. Again, 39.29 was Katie's time. Lily looking happy there, giving Agana a good hug. All right, now we're going to take a look at Ireland's Keon O Conor and the Susan Magner entry of Lexington. Let's see. Horse just moving up to this level with Keon. Let's see if we can leave the jumps up and go fast. Nice and smooth here. This horse so careful. Turns back. Jumps that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does the steady 9. Oh, so careful. So athletic. What a move there by the horse. Cuts across here. Now he's going to have to be quick. This horse just so sharp off that front pole. Just keeps a nice steady pace. I don't think he's quite going to be fast enough, but a little bit long to the last. That's why that last one comes down. 40.65 with the one down. Just looked like he kind of landed, waited a little bit, and then moved up. And then just has it down behind for Keon and Lexington. So 4 faults for them. And we're going to move on to Friday's very speedy winner from the Meter 50 Speed Challenge. It's going to be Amanda Derbyshire and Auto BH. Can they do it again? Well, we're going to see in a minute. 10-year-old Zangerside Stallion owned by Amanda Derbyshire and the Gotchman Sport Horse LLC. Let's see, this horse can be so fast. And, of course, we all know Amanda Derbyshire is never one to shy away from a challenge. Time to beat 39.29 on the double clear set by Katie Dinan and Atika. Amanda trusts this horse. It's so careful. Let's see how speedy she's going to be. She can take big risks. The rain is really coming down at the moment, though. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's the 9. Wow. Super careful. She's got to turn. Got to get this done. Sits up. Jumps good. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Steadies up in the 9. Oh. You can see she was trying to steady up. She did a good job trying to steady. Just not able to get the ups over that vertical. So she's still going. Clears number 4. And sits up there to the last. Unfortunately, with that one down, 4 faults, 38-35. Yeah, look at that. She had the time, almost a full second faster, but with the 4 faults, she'll have to sit in 4th place at the moment. So no double for Amanda Derbyshire here today. But I'm sure she won't be too upset with that. It was a good week for her in Auto BH. All right, now let's take a look at Canada's Erin Ballard and the Elon Faradar and Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry, Ginger Ask. They jumped a beautiful first round. But let's see how fast she's going to go on the 10-year-old Holsteiner mare. Let's see. It's our midway point of our jump off. Let's see what she's got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's looking good. Big leg through the turn. Great effort there. You can see the horse a little kick out behind, really wanting to leave those jumps up. Steadies up here. Good shot through the double. This horse has a big gallop, really covering the stride. Gets a little bit straight here. The other riders were a little bit more angled, but she is on the move. Steadies up around the turn. Big jump. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Clears the last time is 40.32 for Ginger Axe. 40.32 going into 4th at the moment. So Katie Dinan really put the pressure on with that 39.29. We've seen one person go faster, but they weren't able to leave the jumps up. So Katie still leading the way. But we got a couple of really speedy ones coming up. First of those is going to be Shane Sweetum in the Seabrook LLC entry, Irondale du Flot. Let's see if he can do it on the 10-year-old mare by Vivaldi. Again, he won the meter 45 on Wednesday, second in the meter 50 speed on Friday. Let's see if he can win it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he does one more. Actually, Katie did 11 also, so it's not one more than our leader. Very tight back here. Steadies up. Jumps it, puts a little bend in it. That really helped him. Now he's kicking. Ooh, didn't see the long one. Steadies up. Gets over that. Now he's got to run. I think he's pretty close. He's on it. Good shot here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Steadies up. Can he do it? Ooh, rubs the last, but it stays up. Look at that. New time to beat 38.40. And he will take over the leading spot. Shane Sweetum and Irondale du Flot. They are taking over the lead. So, hell of a week for Shane Sweetum and that horse. 38.40, new time to beat. Super round there from Shane. And now they're going to have to come catch him. Can they do it? Super round. That horse didn't touch a pole all week and jumped spectacularly. That is the way to do it. And there's our next one coming in the ring. Let's see. Who is it? It is Ireland's. No, it is not. It is actually, I think Keon O Conor has his second one, but it looks like Tim Gredley's going to step in and move up just to keep the class going. So we'll see Keon on his second one in a minute. But first, we're going to see Great Britain's Tim Gredley and his own entry, Imperial HBF. 11-year-old gelding by Glasgow. And let's see if Tim and the Rachel Gredley, William Gredley, and UNEX Competition Yard Limited entry can catch Shane Sweetum's new time, 38.40. This horse has a big lopey gallop. Little bit slippery there on the backside. Needs to keep coming. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clears that. Ooh, but jumps up high, but lands a little bit shallow on the back pole. Just really came in with a bit of a gap. Landed too far into that double. Lost a bit of the power. Good shot here. Gets the 7 patiently, but with the 4 faults, time 41.88 for Imperial. And they'll go into 9th place at the moment. And I think we've got 5 left to see. Again, Shane Sweetum leading 38.40. Can Kathleen Driscoll of the USA in the Plain Bay Farm entry Rome catch them? 14-year-old Self-Francais gelding. Of course, this horse has a huge lopey stride. She's just going to have to be neat and efficient with her track if she wants to catch Shane Sweetum, who was on that speedy horse. Let's see what she got. Good right to left angle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Footing getting a little bit hairy there. Neat turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God, gets the 8 easy. Oh, but pops the back pole. Actually has it down in front. Was just maybe turning already, and the horse just not keeping the front legs in the air long enough. But huge gallop this horse has, just covering the ground tremendously. Look at this, she can steady up so much for the 7. 38.61, so she was pretty close on that time, but 4 faults for Kathleen Driscoll and a Rome. So they will not be our leaders. They'll go into 7th place. All right, looking like I think Keon's coming in now on his 2nd ride. Going to be we're having some movement in the truck here. Feeling like an earthquake. All right, we're looking at Keon O Conor and Eve Dooley. Can they catch him? Gets over that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jumps through the double. Looks good. And he's moving, but I don't think he's going to catch him. It looks pretty good so far. I don't know. He's pretty close. Can he do it? Oh, maybe. 38.95, I think, going into 2nd. Look at that, 38.95. So he was pretty close. Just half a second off, 38.95 for Eve Dooley and Keon O Conor. And that was pretty good. So, but into 2nd for Keon. All right, let's take a look at Lucy Davis and Ben. It's probably one of the first bigger jump-offs she's been in with this horse. Let's see how quick she's going to go. Good turn back here. Steadies up for the double. This horse has a very handy way of jumping. It's not the most beautiful jump, but he's sort of handy. Gotta give him that. Look at her. She's moving here. Maybe a little bit wider on the track. But a nice shot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The rain is just coming down. 40.16 will be her time. So super solid round. 40.16 on the clear for Lucy Davis. And look at that rain. It is pouring. And like I said a second ago, it felt like an earthquake, but it's actually just wind and rain. But boy, it is pouring. Unpleasant. Luckily, I'm not outside, but it is coming down. 2 left to go. And it's going to be Zoe Conter in the Stefex Stables entry. Davidoff de Lassus Can she catch Shane Sweetum's time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's on it here. Knee back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good shot here. And gets a good one there across the middle. Now she's got to run. Keep moving, Zoe. Steadies up a little bit right to the baseline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gets over the last. 39.51 is her time. And she will go into 4th place at the moment. So good effort there, but 1.1 second over Shane's leading time of 38.40. And we've got one left to jump. They're making their way in. But it is storming out there. We made it almost all the way through the whole class without the big storm, but it unfortunately has caught up with us. But let's see if Margie Goldstein Angle and the Gladewood Farms Incorporated entry, Jack of Hearts, can challenge that time set by Shane Sweetum. 38.40. Jack of Hearts. Gonna challenge that time. You can hear the rain coming down. You can see it on our screen. And they are wet out there. And good shot to the first. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keeps moving. Turn back here. Good shot, but Shane was a little bit tighter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Steadies up. Gets through the double. Now she's got to keep moving. She looks a little bit wider than Shane here. Gets her. Look at this great expression on the horse. He doesn't seem to care about the rain at all. Come on, Margie. Keep kicking. She's moving. Land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Clears the last. Gets over, but time is 41.62. And she will go into 9th place. So that means Shane Sweetum is going to be our big winner. And looks like Keon O Conor in 2nd. And I think Katie Dinan will be our 3rd place winner with 39.29. It is pouring out there. So I don't know if we're going to do a bit of a prize giving, but the final results, there we go. Shane Sweetum of Ireland, Keon O Conor of Ireland, Katie Dinan in 3rd, then Zoe Conter of Belgium in 4th, Lucas Porter in 5th, Lily Keenan in 6th, Lucy Davis on Ben in 7th, Aaron Ballard in 8th, 9th to Margie Goldstein Angle, 10th to Amanda Derbyshire, 11th to Kathleen Driscoll, Dara Kenny finishing up in 12th. Couple more there for 13th and 14th, but that is our final placings. But it is storming out there, so I think they are going to skip the prize giving. And that is our final placing. Thanks again for watching this wonderful $62,500 Hermes CSI 4-star meter 50 classic. Again, thanks to Hermes. Since the company was founded in 1837, Hermes remains dedicated to making high-quality, handcrafted equestrian products for the horse, rider, and barn. Our workshops maintain a tradition of saddle making passed down from generation to generation of skilled artisans. With a strong commitment to innovation, Hermes integrates new materials and technology to develop high-performance technical apparel and equipment to meet the needs of riders at the highest levels of equestrian sport. Looking like they are closing off our feed. Thanks again so much for watching. I'm Danny Waldman, and this has been a presentation of Wellington International. Stay tuned next week for the 5-star over at the main facility. And we're out for today. Stay dry, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.